Recently I've been reacting to Stevie Ray Vaughan, all of his songs and his best live performances. I've still got a load to do, thank goodness for that. I even reacted to his 13 gauge guitar strings and I set them up on my own guitar and tried them out. If you want to see that video, the link is in the description. Go and check it out. However, some absolute legend left a link in the comments section to Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar tech, Rennie Martinez. This video shows exactly how he used to set up Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar. Let's get into it, because I'm probably going to copy it the moment the video is finished and try it out. Heck, I might even have to buy a new guitar. Can't afford it, but if you guys start liking this video and all that, then, you know, the money will start rolling in. Next thing, I could buy a guitar. Come on! Don't make me get it out my savings. Joe, mate. Joe, you haven't got any savings, pal.
Hi, my name is Raygo Martinez.
Don't make me ask me grandma. Show me the secrets.
Guitar. So this is going to be a Stevie Ray Vaughan setup. People have been asking me about this setup and how it's done and how I did it. And it all came about when Stevie first brought his guitar to me. Was asking me to raise the strings on it, the neck wasn't playing right, things like that, so it involves a setup. A setup is nothing more than making sure that the guitar feels right, plays right, it's in tune, and it involves a couple of little technical things, which means the neck has to be straight, the nut height has to be correct, and the height of the saddles have to be correct as well. So for you people out there who are not totally familiar with the guitar, we're going to run through it because it's important. So obviously this is a Stratocaster. This particular guitar here was one of the ones that I helped Stevie design. When I first started working with Stevie, we had a guitar that had name on here, but this is inscribed in the pickguard. And he had the SRV model, and Stevie said yes to that, so here we go. Now what I did in order to set up a guitar is take off all the strings and make sure that the neck is straight. And the only way to look at the neck if it's straight is to actually sight down the guitar neck. And I sight it down from this angle looking at the guitar body. So from here to here. And what I'm looking for is straightness of the neck. And I look at 2 points of the neck. This plane here is if this were a flat plane, and this plane here is if this was a flat plane. Both planes meet each other in a 90 degree angle, and then I would sight down the corner of that 90 degree angle. So from this point here to here. I never look down from this edge to the saddles or to the bridge or any other part of the guitar. I just use the neck itself. A lot of people use the rest of the body as some kind of aim, but it's not.
He's lost me already. This is how I know I couldn't be a guitar tech, because you've lost me. This guy is gold. Let's thank the Lord he made this video, because if he wouldn't have told us this, we may have never knew this kind of business. It's funny, isn't it, how people hold gold in their minds, and whether they choose to tell you or not, it's up to them. But if he would have died as well, we would have never knew this. This is sick.
Right, and the reason why it's not right is because you get an illusion going on with the dimensions of the body. So you'll get a bad reference if this neck is straight or not. So that's what I do. I don't look at it from this side going to the nut, because then again I have the mass of the body giving me false readings to my eyes. So there's very little mass on this side, and that's how I'm able to sight down the neck. Now remember that when you pick up the neck itself, the guitar, you have weight of the body, and this in turn could bow the neck a tiny bit, ever so slightly, but it still can. So even if I left it here on the bench it still gives it a bow. So how do you know if you have a truly straight neck? And the best way to do it is to take the weight of the body off the neck. And the way I do that is I have to take the guitar up, and then I have to grab it, and I have to actually put it down on my foot to look at so I can sight down the neck. So I put the body or the end of the guitar down, and I sight down the neck itself. So the next thing I did was actually go in and start restringing the guitar. I'll just show you exactly how I did it. There's no right way to do it. There's only your way to do it. And my way just seems to work for me. And I can get this thing moving in and squared up as quickly as possible.
You can tell this guy's strung a few necks in his time.
Just take your time and putting in strings. I always hope that these strings are all in the same order when I take them out of the packet. I don't really read them. I just assume that they're all from the biggest to the smallest. And I start with the biggest and I work my way through and get everything in here.
That's a sketchy thing to do, because if you strung it, when you spent your only 15 quid or $15 on your last guitar pack, and you string it and you realise you've put the B string on the A, you'd just be like... And you've cut them as well. Yeah, I'd probably cry.
Stevie used some pretty big strings at the time. He was using 13s as the first string, 13 plain. At one time, he did use an actual 14 as the first string, but it didn't leave much room for the rest of the strings as far as sizes, because that's a pretty big string to put on as a first string. And not only that, the heights on it were the biggest I've ever seen in my whole career. But he seemed to enjoy them, and he got a lot of tone from them too. And why he went there with such big strings, I really don't know. I have some stories about it, but that's another whole chapter all on its own. Okay.
Bro, you better reveal these stories. This is why I'm here, kid. I want to know why he put 13 gauges on. Now, he's just said it could have been because of the tone. He thinks it's because of the tone. However, there's more reasons. Dude, fill us in. I want to know. This was the question I had on my video I made. I put 13 gauge strings on my guitar, and my main question is, why? Why did Stevie Ray Vaughan want 13 gauge? Is it because it just felt better? How would it feel better though? Because we all know if you had 11s on, it would be easier on your fingers. Now, if you're putting up with bleeding fingers, your calluses are coming off. It can't be because it feels good, so let's eradicate that. It's got to be the tone, or I don't know. But in reality, is the tone that much different? I'm pretty sure you can get just the same tone with 11s than you can with 13s. Let's be real. Let's be real. Blind, if we did a blind test and we put 11s on a guitar and 13s and Stevie played both, you would not know the difference. And if you did, then boy, you've got some good ears, but I highly doubt you would know the difference.
All the strings on. Next thing to do is to tie them on and go on and get a string winder. I like this string winder here. This is something that I'm actually have got for sale. This is Rene Martinez string winder. What's different about this one here? Well, not too much, but I kind of like it because I'm able to, it comes in two pieces, and this fits inside here. This becomes the actual winding part where it goes to the string winder itself. I mean the string machine, and then it's a normal thing. Also, if you wanted to use your little small cordless drill, whatever, it's got an end for it, it'll fit in there, and you can do it electrically. So I do it this way. Okay, from here, the next thing that we do here is we make sure that we touch down here with your thumb, touch the end of the string right after the saddle, and you press down. And the same thing for the second string, and then for the third, and the fourth, fifth, and sixth. And you do the same thing down here. Press down here right before the nut. And you go, okay, so why am I doing that? The reason why I'm doing that is when the string comes out of the hole here, it goes over the saddle and it arcs. So it actually, string comes out and it arcs, and it's sitting over the saddle right here, arcing like this. And it actually should be straight, coming 90 degrees from the saddle itself. That's this point all the way to the point of where it is here at the nut. And the nut, you have to do the same thing because it rides over and still arcs. So you have to push down just to make sure that you don't have any buzzes, because once you start doing chimes or harmonics up here at the 12th fret, you'll hear that waver. The waver will just be eminent there. It won't go away, and the only way to get rid of it is to actually do what I just did.
Cool.
So if you can remember to do that every string change, then your guitar will be pretty much in tune, because I have done that where I have forgotten it, and I would actually strobe it out, and I would strobe it to where I thought it was perfect according to what the strobe said, and it's because I didn't press down here that I was getting some bad tones, and Stevie would say it's still not in tune.
What? Mate, I've been playing guitar for a long time, and I've just learnt that. I'd give it one of these, I'd just bend all the strings like that, and etc., and give it one of them and all that, but I didn't think to do that on an electric guitar. Why? All this time, I've been going out of tune, thinking, what's going on? That's proper cool though, so next time I put strings on my electric, because when you put new strings on, it goes out of tune anyway for about half an hour, doesn't it? You keep constantly doing it. But if I would do that, maybe that half an hour would shrink to 15 minutes, and within 15 minutes it'll be in tune.
So, well, it's got to be in tune. I know it's in tune. I just strobed it, but I didn't do that one little trick of pushing it down here, and it always did the job all the time. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set up the guitar. What we do is we tune this, with Stevie, I had it tuned to E flat. That's what was different about everything. So this guitar is tuned up to E flat right now. And these are the specs that I used. This is what I came up with on my own. This is something that I just figured out, and it seemed to work for me. I didn't have any particular book or person tell me how to set up everything, because nobody really could give me some specs, so I thought I'd come up with my own. And this was a trial set of specs that I used, and they seem to work. But you can also adjust these things where they can be even lower or go up even higher. But with these specs here, they were able to work for me at these heights, at these numbers. If you do it anything different, and it's going to give you a different result, so I can't guarantee that. But mind you, everything else has to work. Your neck's got to be straight, the nut has to be at the right height, and the nut measurements are right here. And you measure using the top of the fret and the bottom of the string. And then you use a ruler. And the ruler that I like to use is a 6-inch ruler. And this one here is the Rene Martinez by Mojo Tone 6-inch ruler. It has 30 seconds and 64ths on it. Works well. I would highly recommend making sure that you use something to gauge by instead of just using your feel. I use the feel if I have to on a moment's notice. I use all my experience, and I can set up the height quickly, just before a TV shot or something. And but when it comes down to the real deal, this is the way to go. So this particular set of specs here are for electric guitar, electric bass, acoustic guitar, classical guitar, and flamenco guitar. And
this guy's a genius. He's literally set his whole career to this. Like, he's thought, nah, you know what? I'm not just going to be a normal guitar tech. I'm going to bring my own gadgets out. I mean, he's got his own Rene Martinez measurement tool. I need someone to have a look at my guitar. Not to make this about me, but if anyone knows anything in the comments, since we're all musicians here, most likely. My, apparently heat can make your guitar bow and etc. Well, it can. And my acoustic guitar's gained a belly, apparently. And it's made the action super high. So I took it to a guitar shop the other day. 80 dabs. If y'all are from across the pond, 80 euros, $80. Not cool. Did not like paying that one bit. And what he did is he undid it, the neck, because this neck actually comes off. And he's bowed it back as much as he possibly can. So if you look closely, you probably won't be able to see this. Oh, can you see? This is meant to be fitted on the wood. And now the fretboard he's done that, and it's come off. So it doesn't look great from my angle, but it's made the action better. Now, I know the action's not meant to be super tight anyway on an acoustic guitar because you want the strings to ring, but it was ridiculous. It was like that. I don't want to be playing a guitar that difficult to play. So if anyone knows a better trick so I can put the neck back to its actual position and still get a good action, that would be nice for you to leave it in the comments.
Round wound nickel rockers. They're still available. I think you can find them at the GHS site. They may be under a different name, but they were a semi-flat round wound string. They're not flats, they're not bass strings, they're just called semi-flat because that's what was written on the package. And you still be able to get them through them if you'd like to go there. Otherwise, you can just still use the same gauges, 11, 15, 19 plain, 28, 38, 58 in any kind of round wound, whether it be super steels or nickel plated or whatever, what you had. So it really doesn't make any difference. The actual setup makes all the difference in the world. With Stevie's, I had to use 5 springs. This one has 3. So when I used his guitar, I had to put 5. And the reason why I had 5 on here is because those string gauges that I told you about pull so much, even at E flat, that it would pull the bridge up, and you can actually see this tailpiece go up in the air a little bit, so we couldn't have that. This has to sit flush on the body. It's the most important of all the setups for Stevie. This is the important aspect of it because the tone translating from the bridge to the body was all part of it too. You could not get away from that.
That's exactly what happened to my guitar. Guys, if you've not seen it, you have to watch that video. I did it myself, and my tail, the saddle, came up exactly what he said. And no, people in the comments were going, you needed more you needed it 2 more springs. I'll be honest, didn't really know what anyone was talking about because I don't know much about guitar tech. But now I know. So if I would have had 3 springs, it would have been strong enough to clamp it down. Because I was thinking, did Stevie block it off? But he couldn't have done because he used his whammy bar. Now I know. He had the springs to hold it down, extra tension. Genius.
Here we're going to go. We're going to set this up. I'm going to use my tools here. This is my tool set. My other Mojo Tone, Rene Martinez by Mojo Tone tool set here that I'm using. And inside here, I have a little handle, and I have my .050 bit that I'm going to use to raise at the saddles. So here we go. And get a pencil and paper ready to write down these specs if you like. This is going to be at 3.5, 30 seconds on the treble side. And it's going to probably take a little bit to get it all up here, but I want to show you each one so that you can see. I already showed you the height as to what it looks like.
That seems high.
Right at 3.
Very high.
3.5 is what we want. You can use 64s if you like. I've been so used to doing this at 3.5 that I have no problem knowing exactly where it is. Even though I haven't set one of these up in a long time, it's just like I did it yesterday. So, this is for the treble side again. 3.5, 30 seconds. At the 12th fret, top of the fret, bottom of the string. Almost there. Take your time. Make sure it's correct because that's what it's all about. Okay, done deal. Now we're going to go to the bass side. We're going to go to 4, 30 seconds. A half more than the treble side. He liked them high because he was able to get his fingers underneath the string when he bent a string. It just felt good to him. It was not a macho thing, and he could get the tone out of them. He could still hit the string and they would buzz because he hit them so hard. He had such strength in his hands.
Damn. Well, there you go.
Okay, almost there. Now we got the 6th string left to do, and once we're done with that, we have very close to a Stevie Ray Vaughan setup here. And there we go. 4, 4, 4, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 30 seconds. Now, if you look at the bridge itself, even just raising the bridge saddles up, you can see that the bottom of the string itself, the bridge itself is not touching the body. It's raised up because there's more tension on here. And that's what usually happens. So you got to make sure that this tailpiece sits up flush against the body. And the only way to do that is to actually tighten up the spring. As I was saying before, the bridge itself has to lay flat on the body.
Mate, they're high up
for the most tone possible. This has to sit flush. If it moves, as you can see here, it's moving a little bit, then you have to tighten up the springs in the back. And if it doesn't do it, like with Stevie's setups, you have to use 5 springs. There's no way around it. And that's what I would do. So if I had 2 more springs, I would put it on here and then make sure that this doesn't move at all. But yet enough to employ, as he liked, a tremolo arm so he can actually use the tremolo to employ the vibrato. So you can tighten it up and then you can feel it, make sure it's comfortable, that you can actually employ the tremolo and do it. And then, of course, it's a matter of tuning it back up. And there it is, out of tune.
That's mad. I bet he's a good guitar player himself as well. But he's humble about it. Doesn't even play in front of anyone else. Just would be chilling. Then 1 minute you're like, who's that? Where's that guitar coming from? You go backstage, Rennie Martinez has got fucking double neck in that position.
And still the height is the same, high as can be. And very comfortable to play for him, but not so for me.
It's just made me realise how little I know about guitar tech. However, doing these videos, it's making me learn more and more. And now it's made me question paying that 80 quid to get my guitar fixed like that. Because his only answer was to just bend the neck. Like, what? Is there nothing else we could have done? Now my neck looks crap because it's coming off the guitar. Guys, help me out. If you know an answer for this, help me out, because it doesn't look so pretty anymore. Anyway, nothing much more to say other than Stevie, you're a G. Guys, let me know what other musicians you want me to react to. And it doesn't have to just be music, by the way. This is just the music segment. But I'm going to be reacting to loads of stuff. Boxing, UFC, eating food, music, guitar, same category. Anything, mate. I'll react to the top 10 most devastating turds of all time.